Assalamualaikum and greetings to my respective lecturer Sir Muhammad Khalid and to my dear listeners. My name is Ahmad Farhan and I'm from Academy Language Studies, Bachelor in English for Intercultural Communication. In this video, I will be reviewing my chosen academic journal article that relates to cybersecurity in organizations, issues in information system. This journal article entitled Ransomware Extortion is My Business by Yin Yves Marion. It was published on 29th of April 2025 in the Communication of the ACM Journal. Now, let's get into the main issue. Now, the two critical issues brought up in this article are the emergence of ransomware as an organized criminal activity and more exposure to private firms. Ransomware is no longer a random cyber attack, but is now an organized business, the majority being known as ransomware as a service. What this implies is that cyber criminals now have an option to purchase or lease ransomware kits in order to mount attacks from their comfort zones without necessarily needing expert technical knowledge. These types of attacks are more goal-oriented and strategic. They not only encrypt company data but also steal sensitive information and blackmail them into decrypting the information if the ransom is not met. This double or even triple extortion tactic puts a lot of pressure on companies and leaves them vulnerable to financial loss as well as reputational risks. The journal states that the attackers first begin with phishing emails or stolen passwords. Once inside a company network, they creep silently across the network, searching for the most valuable information to encrypt. The quiet phase can go on for days or even weeks undetected. Another significant area is how human behavior makes such attacks successful. Some employees are still falling for phishing emails, to have a compromised passwords or connect to unsecure networks. These small slips can open the door to serious security breaches. Legacy security products are also lagging and part of the problem. Signature-based anti-malware software is not equipped to find the highest developed, constantly changing techniques employed with a contemporary ransomware. The attack vector is constantly changing, as are the attackers who are constantly evolving and speeding up. In all, the article makes clear in lay terms ransomware is a real business these days and private enterprise is exceptionally vulnerable based on technical weaknesses and also human mistake. Now we go into the research part. Here in this article, the author reveals how ransomware turned into big business. It is no longer the domain of lone hackers. It is now a business model. Attackers provide ransomware as a service, that thing with developers, negotiators, and even customer support for other goons. One of the most abhorrent revelations is how these attacks increasingly apply double or triple exploitation based on secondary sources that the author stated in the methodology. 34% increases. That is, not only they will encrypt your data, they steal it. And then, if the firm does not pay out, the hackers will threaten to disclose the data or carry out further attacks as much as 12.5% according to the graph interview or standard chartered that the author has conducted. The piece describes a standard ransomware playbook. The attackers first get in through phishing emails or a password compromise. This happens when the author conducted a SSPS numerical graph statistic with top private companies in Cambodia. Marion knows the weakest link is still human activity due to the findings he has done in work with Microsoft collaboration in 2018. Ransomware most frequently starts due to an employee, click on a malicious link or utilize a weak password they reuse. So these little errors create an opening for colossal harm. He goes on to say that legacy security tools such as antivirus programs are in catch-up mode. He found that 34.67% probability that signature-based attacks can't keep pace with how quickly ransomware evolves. The majority of attacks now go around this system altogether, leaving businesses oblivious until it's too late. Understanding the percentages, research of secondary sources and other credible sources and the research findings is significant as it opens up to a new reality to organizations. Now we're going to suggestion or personal opinions. The author recommends that the organization move beyond putting in the usual antivirus software and begin taking more sophisticated measures such as behavioral analysis or AI powered detection. He also recommends regular offline backups mode and educating employees to limit human mistake, because most ransomware attacks have start with something as mundane as a phishing email. I concur and agree with these ideas, but I also believe that the way companies train employees actually does make a difference. Rather than boring slides or technical guides, why not spice up cybersecurity training, right? For instance, firms can employ short animated videos, quizzes, or real-world simulations demonstrating how a ransomware attack actually occurs. This makes the information more palatable, particularly for non-technical employees lah. I also think that cybersecurity education need not necessarily begin only in the workplace, but can also, be included as part of university studies. As a student UiTM myself, I believe UiTM and other universities can, incorporate basic modules of cybersecurity into every course. Not even IT or computer science. All students, regardless of what they study, use email, cloud storage, and online platforms. Being aware of how to secure the data can be incorporated as part of basic knowledge. Another thing I would suggest is for companies to adopt a zero trust policy where no user or device is automatically trusted. This can really help limit the damage if an attacker does get in. And finally, organizations should run regular phishing simulations. It's one thing to teach people what a suspicious email looks like, but it's even more powerful to let them practice maybe spotting in the safe way. Briefly, I think Marion's advice is good, but there's a possibility to make cybersecurity more human-centric. When individuals comprehend the threat and can be confident about what they need to do, businesses can become much more difficult for ransomware. In short, this journal taught me that ransomware attacks have become so advanced and important in this day and the age of business. It's no longer technical, it's human, system, and daily life. As companies continue to expand digitally, it's obvious that every single one of them, from top executives to interns, plays a crucial role in cybersecurity. Thank you for watching and stay cyber aware. Assalamualaikum.